Welcome into the coach's office. We'll be talking Alliance of American Football, the Lebron effect, March Madness, might even talk to you about our blogs.
And it's coming at you right now.
The following is a special presentation of the coach's office.
I never punt on Madden.
Go Noles.
I don't even know what roll tide means.
I mean, let them in. What is there to lose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Glad to have you in here. Why was everyone so concerned with the outfield play for the movie to be called Angels in the Outfield?
Where'd you get your shirt? Foot Locker? Uh-oh, Murphy's calling.
And now your hosts, Kyle Donahue and Matt Ripley.
How's it? Welcome into the coach's office. This is Kyle Donahue coming at you from the coach's office along with my good buddy Matt Ripley. How's it going today, Matt?
Glad to be back. We're back at you. Going to be entertaining the masses. Guys, we keep expanding. We want to thank everybody that's been tuning in and subscribing. We keep getting bigger and bigger, and this is awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you. We've got a great show for you today. We're talking Alliance of American Football. Football's back, baby.
After the Super Bowl, post-Super Bowl, we can watch football.
And not spring practice.
It's like living in another dimension. I mean, is this how soccer is? I mean, it's like as soon as soccer ends, soccer begins again.
Golf.
Baseball, as soon as baseball ends, it begins again. Is this what this is like?
Is this spring training?
Does everybody feel this way?
Hopefully you're excited about that. We're also going to talk the NCAA tournament. It's coming up, March Madness.
It's March, baby. Madness time, bracket time. I've got a blank. Hang on a minute. I've got a blank bracket right here.
Ooh, crisp.
Crisp, blank, not a single space is filled in. I'm showing it like there's people in
He's going to be Joe Lenardi. He's going to fill out all 68 teams. We're going to check it.
I got Tennessee at number 1.
Ooh.
And Tennessee at number 1.
Ooh.
I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just
Four
gonna fill
shots.
in the
Four shots at it.
National Championship game, April 8th, Tennessee. I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. But we got a blank bracket for you. We're going to be having that March Madness, similar to how we did Bowl Mania, so be sure to keep a look on that. Kyle, I think you wrote a blog about the Lebron effect.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to talk a little bit later about how LeBron affects his team and his ex-teams. Very interesting look at LeBron and his teams while he's there and his teams when he leaves, how well they do or how well they don't do.
So we kick this thing off with the AAF, the Alliance of American Football. Now, what some people have to understand, it's not an NFL competitor. It was never created to be an NFL competitor. What it is, think about, and this is the way that I finally started really understanding it, as the NBA, the D-League.
It's the G League now. They've changed
D-League,
it. Yep.
G League.
Same thing.
But anyway, it's a developmental league that allows these guys that maybe they were on a team and got cut. Maybe they didn't make the cut. Maybe they came out of college and they weren't quite good enough to get drafted, quite good enough to stay with a team. This is that other opportunity. Think Trent Richardson, who's playing for the Birmingham Iron right now. You know, think about Aaron Murray. He's with the Atlanta Legends. So a lot of second chances. So what this does is it allows these guys to have a chance at playing again. And the NFL's taking notice. Chargers GM Tom Telesco told ESPN, we're going to have scouts at these games because it's a great opportunity. We've got guys right here that we could probably take from. I mean, they've got the San Diego Fleet right there, not far down the road from L.A. A great opportunity for guys. I mean, would you take a chance on somebody in the AAF?
Yeah, I mean, if they play well, obviously, if they show out and play well, I think it's a great idea. You've got the XFL coming out next year, which is billed as the competitor to the NFL. I don't think there will ever be a competitor to the NFL.
It's too big.
The CFL has tried, and they put too many men in motion.
The field's too big.
Field's too big, too long. But they still scored just many points. But anyway,
it's crazy.
I think the AAF has done a great job of marketing themselves as not a competitor, but a developmental league, giving people second chances. And I definitely think some of these people that are showing out right now will get a shot. Now, that's not to say they're going to be, all pros in the NFL. That's just going to be a shot to make the big team. And I think that's well deserved. I think that's a way for other teams or other players to get a second chance, and get back in. So let's look at some of the rule changes or some of the differences in rules before we move on. Some of the rule changes, no extra points. Like it, dislike it.
I don't know. I do like the idea of everybody having to go for a 2-point conversion. They talked about when they were drafting the rules and what the AAF would look like. They said that fan interest was down on extra points and on kickoffs.
For the NFL?
For the NFL. And so they decided, we're going to put another opportunity for more offense and make everybody go for 2-point conversions. I like it. The thrill of being able to block a field goal kick, I think, is gone. I don't think that you see that much anymore. They tried to add a little more to it by moving it back, but I don't think it was enough. I do like the 2-point conversions.
It is enough for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to just about miss field goals all the time. I wish we could get a dang kicker that could make one, right? We spent a huge pick on Aguayo, and he
blew it.
Oh, Aguayo, you killed me.
Didn't make it.
Come on, man. I've already sent him a strongly worded letter. But I think extra points, 2-point conversions give yourself another chance to increase the excitement. A chance to increase the excitement the other way is kickoffs. You want to explain the kickoff rule?
So now there's no more kickoffs. So what they do is the team will start on their own 25, going the distance. Now, you say, well, how are they going to get an onside kick?
How are they going to get an onside kick?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They have decided that you will have the ball on your own 35, so your back is to your end zone, this side of the 50. You will have a 4th down and 10 scenario. If you convert on 4th and 10, you keep the ball, you just keep on driving. You don't get it, you've now given the team the ball on their own 35, on your 35 going in. I kind of like it.
I like it. I wish it was farther.
Yeah.
4th and 10 for the pros. I mean, come on.
That's quick.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
can see what you're
it's
saying.
It's 10 yards. Let's go something like 15, 20. Then it puts a little skin in the game.
Now it starts sounding like NFL blitz.
But you can't hit after the whistle.
Oh.
And then pile drive him after you hit him.
That was uncalled for, but a lot of fun to watch.
It was awesome.
I hope that's not copyrighted. But so yeah, I could agree with that. I could see 4th and 15. 4th and 10 doesn't seem like it's very far, but I do think it's a great idea because now you think of this offensive play sheet now has a whole section of onside kick plays. So I definitely think that adds to it. I think of Steve Spurrier of your Orlando Apollos.
Been a fan all my life. Orlando Apollos.
Ever since that he can remember, he's been
as long
an
as
Apollo
I can
fan.
remember. Go Apollos.
And they're undefeated right now.
Undefeated.
So we've had to hear all about that.
Undefeated.
Because they're definitely better than they were last year.
Yeah, I really think they progressed since last year. No, but for real, we kind of did a little. Who's going to be your team? Who you rooting for? And obviously, I wanted to go with the Apollos before the season started. I've got text messages, folks, before the season started.
There's proof.
I'm going with the Apollos, and they've really shown well. They've played really well. Some of the other rules, you have to declare who's blitzing. As a defensive guy, I'm not too excited about that.
Yeah.
You can only blitz 5. I think 5 is the maximum.
Yeah.
And they have to declare if you're inside a certain rush box, as they call it on defense, then you're allowed to go. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like a little deception and whatever, but it is what it is.
I
It's
like
the
the
AAF.
overtime. Overtime is the best. Overtime is the best because you think about college football, you get the ball, and everybody gets a chance until somebody messes up. Same thing in the AAF. You're getting the ball on the 10. Which, again, I do feel like that's kind of short also.
Yeah.
But you're getting the
It's the
ball
pros.
on the 10. Yeah, kick them back to the 25, make them drive, get a first down. Let's add a little bit more pepper to it. But 1st and 10, on your own 10, going in. So 1st and goal. 4 tries to get it in. You don't get it in. You get no points going to the other side. Same thing, 2-point conversions only. Can't kick the extra point. I do like that. I hate the NFL touchdown, it's over. I do like that they worked in. You can have a chance if they kick a field goal, you get another opportunity. But to drive it, score a touchdown, ball game, it's over. I don't like that.
I don't care for it. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. If you're good enough to win, you should be able to stop somebody.
That's true.
If you're good enough, if you want to win the game, you better stop somebody. Otherwise, you're going to lose. And it's the NFL. It's the pros. Step your game up on defense and stop somebody.
You tell them. Tell them.
Or win the coin flip. Jeez, be lucky enough to win the coin flip.
Got to practice your heads or tails.
So a question I've thought about is this kind of a way to skip college? Are they taking kids out of high school? I haven't looked. I don't know.
I've not looked into
But,
that yet. I do know that how you're placed on the team is decided on where you last went to school. So Trent Richardson is on the Birmingham Iron because he went to Alabama.
Yeah.
Aaron Murray is at Atlanta because he went to UGA.
Right. The Apollos have a lot of Florida and UCF guys.
So I know that goes into it.
Yeah,
as far as, how much time you get to be able to go play in the AAF, I'm not sure. I would assume that it's similar to college. You got 3 years out of high school.
Maybe.
You're not ready to make that kind of money out of high school. I mean, I
wish I was.
Physically. I mean, even think about that. Physically. So you're a high school senior. You've decided you don't want to go to college. You're going to go into the AAF next year. Trent Richardson, still there.
He's going to run you over.
You're going to get cracked in half. I mean, it's like it's a totally different thing. I don't think we truly understand the abilities that these professional athletes, even at the AAF level. I mean, it's a step down from the NFL, but these guys are still former professionals, just on the cusp of being professionals. I mean, they're getting 3 years, $250,000 contracts, not guaranteed. They're getting great health care, and they complete a year in the AAF. They get an educational stipend, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome.
So it's definitely I do like the concepts that they have. It's on. You can see it on CBS Sports Network, TNT, NFL Network. So I like how spread out it is.
Thank you for your sponsorship.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Well, switching gears to basketball, recently announced the basketball, they're changing the cut line to 18 years old. Did you see that? From 19 to 18. It'll probably go into effect in 2020, I think they said, the 2020. So they're the juniors now within high school. What do you think?
I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing to the college game by going to college for 1 year? What are you doing for you? What are you doing for the university, for that program, the one and dones?
You're making a ton of money for some programs.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. But, I mean, think about you're trying to build a basketball program, and you're filling it full of guys that are leaving. I mean, I think – I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one for me. As far as I think kids need to get an education. I do think that they should at least go 2 years, get an associate's degree, then you can go to professional sports. But I understand, and we've talked about it on the show before, the business side of it. Some of these guys come from rough upbringings. They want to get mom and dad out of this situation there. They want, and I understand that. And you're an injury away from losing all that. I understand that. That's where the educational standpoint comes in. So you've decided to go to the NBA. You've made all this money. That money probably won't last you very long. You have no education to fall back on. So I think that you definitely need – I think you should have to get an associate's degree. Have something to build on post-NBA, post-professional career. So that way there you've got something to carry you forward. Because even an NBA career, we've talked about this on the show, you start getting in your 40s in any sport, you're considered ancient. And the sad part is you're only in your 40s. I mean, my goodness, I won't be able to retire till I'm 60.
He's 54.
I would like to be 6 years away from retiring, but that's neither here nor there. But, I mean, think about that. I think they need the education. But how many players Kobe Bryant he did okay.
He did all right for himself.
He did okay.
He's got 2 numbers hanging in L.A.
Yeah, he did okay.
We'll get to L.A. here in a minute.
He's the exception. But LeBron, has he done okay? He's made a lot of money.
But has he done okay?
I'll say okay, but I don't think he did Kobe okay.
True.
I don't think he did Kobe okay.
I think he's greater than okay.
He did all right.
He's still doing all right. I mean, it's not over with.
He's pretty good.
Kevin Garnett.
LeBron, we'd love to have you on here.
Tracy McGrady.
But who was Kevin Garnett without LeBron James?
Yeah, who was he? They stomped the Cavs.
That's true.
What are you talking about?
They took care of business. But
he sent him to Miami.
Kevin Garnett, he needed Ray Allen. I think Kevin Garnett needed Paul Pierce. So, I mean, who's Kevin Garnett without a big three scenario? Kevin Garnett.
He was a baller in
But
Minnesota.
what did the Timberwolves do with Garnett by himself?
With a terrible team, they made the playoffs.
But
It's
it's 50-50.
We'll come back to this when we talk LeBron, but what is in the current state of the NBA, what is one superstar on your team?
Because also the
One
argument
All-Star Magic are fighting for the 7-8 seed in the playoffs.
who's Kobe without Shaq? I mean, there's that argument.
Who's Kobe without Powell?
Yeah. So I mean, you need a buddy. Everybody needs a friend.
All right, anyway, here's my idea, all right? I think the rules should be similar to that of the MLB draft, right? Going back to, we took on a rant,
Way
whatever.
off AAF.
Way off of the rules for basketball, I think, going to the NBA should be similar to the MLB, I'll get it out in a second, MLB draft, right? So the MLB draft, you can declare and go right out of high school, right? I think there's some kids, Zion Williamson now, there's some kids that are physically able to go to college or go to NBA should go, right? Go get your money.
They're prepared.
Go play on a team and do well. Go play for the Knicks, who are going to have Kyrie. The next group is college players. I think if you go to a JUCO, you should be able to go after a year or two.
Okay.
Right? And then if you go to a 4-year school, let's make it about 3 years.
Okay.
Right? So JUCO's constantly, I played JUCO, so it's constantly rotating anyway.
Right.
People coming in and out. But let's get a little stability in the college game and still allow people to go play in the NBA right out of high school. I think that's a marriage of both worlds.
But then, so do you see now your bigger athletes? Now do your Kentuckys, your Dukes, your North Carolinas, do they get the superstars now?
Probably not. They'll get the upper level superstars that don't go play in the NBA.
Okay.
I don't see them falling off. Who will really hurt is the lower level teams.
Your
it'll really hurt
VCUs and the Cinderellas.
Yeah, it'll really hurt them.
They get that one superstar. That's enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that, and over time, those things I think level themselves out. I think that balances itself out
Agreed.
over time. So that's definitely something to think about. As a matter of fact, we'd like to hear what you think about that. Be sure to share that on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything that you're listening to us on. You can comment on there. Give us your thoughts on what you think about a high school athlete. When are they ready to play professional sports? We'll be back right after this. The coach's office is now looking for a title sponsor. Your name would be over the whole entire show, or commercial sponsors. If you or someone you know owns a business and would be interested, please contact us either on Facebook, on Twitter, or through our email, thecoachesofficeshow@gmail.com. And we'd love to have you be a part of the coach's office.
And we're back inside the coach's office. We've started an NBA topic. We're going to kind of switch gears into LeBron, the LeBron effect. So we've started our hand at blogging. Yep. Never blogged before, but here it is. Here's our chance.
It's a work in progress for me.
Work in progress. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something new. You want to write something that people want to read. Hopefully people are reading. We're trying to share it. But go check us out.
I talk better than I put into words.
Yeah, that's probably true. You do.
That's why we're on a podcast.
Yeah, you're terrible. Anyway,
whatever.
One of the blogs that I've written, blog posts that I've written, is about the LeBron effect. Now, I don't know if you followed LeBron's career, but he started out as the number 1 pick in Cleveland. Had some bumpy years, and decided to throw in the towel and head to South Beach and play with the Miami Heat.
The decision.
And in turn, the Cavaliers end up with the number 1 pick. They get Kyrie Irving. They become relevant again. LeBron's coming home. Announces it in an SI.
Now I'll come back.
Now I'm coming back now that you guys are okay. And then ends up leaving after a championship. Wins a championship, goes to L.A. Now, a couple things I looked at within the blog, the effect he has on his team. Now, the first thing we looked at is the record, right? With LeBron, teams are obviously better, right? Let's throw that out there. Duh, they're better. When he leaves, however, and I've talked to our fellow assistant Matt Smith about this, because he's a big Lakers fan. When he leaves, though, the teams are terrible.
Turmoil.
Right? The teams are terrible. Let's look at the records. So the Cavs were 61-21 with LeBron. The year he leaves to go to Miami, they're 19-63.
Oh my gosh.
The next team he moved from, the Heat, when he left in 2014, he left at 54-28. The Heat were 54-28. Comes back to the Cavs, were 37-45. Not terrible, but still not a winning record.
Right.
The Cavs, right after he left, at the time of writing, they were 15-47. At that point, they were the third worst team in the NBA.
And I mean, I think it's worth noting that the Cavs lost Kyrie because of LeBron. He wanted out. He wanted out.
Conflicting stories.
And I think part of it was LeBron.
Conflicting stories. But he's come out, and I said it in the blog, he comes out and says, I was stupid,
Sorry.
I was young,
Yeah.
my B. I think that's a way of him trying to get back in the good graces of LeBron and try and get to L.A. to play for the L.A. LeBrons. I think that's his way of trying to apologize. But another thing that LeBron does, it seems like all the LeBron people in the news media seems like, he elevates everybody's game, right? He elevates everybody's game. Let's look at a couple people. Two people I just want to point out. Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Kevin Love was a dominant big man. He was an undersized big man, getting doubles a night.
Speaking of
playing down low.
Yep.
Speaking of the Timberwolves, and playing insane in Minnesota, comes to LA and literally all he does is stand in the corner and shoot threes on
Cleveland.
offense. Did I say LA?
Yeah.
He might end up in LA. Who knows?
Who knows?
The LA LeBrons.
Close enough.
Chris Bosh, another guy playing great, running his team in Toronto.
Raptors.
And goes to Miami, and he becomes a three-point spot-up guy.
The third guy.
Mid-range,
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily if he makes his teammates better or if it's a case of find people that can shoot to put around me, I'll do my thing, they can do their thing, and we'll win. But what happens when those people around him don't score,
Yeah.
i.e. J.R. Smith?
Yeah. He's got to hit all those shots.
What if he doesn't hit his shots and he calls timeout at a different time, or he doesn't know the time? Yeah,
Gosh, I remember that.
That was terrible.
Kyle Korver, I think he's a guy that would thrive in that situation if he's hitting all his shots.
Right? Yeah, I threw him in the article. I think he'd be fine playing. I think he was fine playing with LeBron. He's somebody that can spot up. So I don't necessarily agree with all the LeBron makes your teammates better. Yes, he does some things. He's a magician with the ball sometimes. But I don't necessarily agree that he makes his teammates better individually. Does he make his team better? Yes, he does. I think that's a proven point that he does, except in L.A. Now, let's take a look at L.A., right? Here they are. I don't even know where they're at. They're like 13th, 43 games back of 8th place.
He's going to have to activate the playoff.
L.A. has gone through a terrible year, and not because of all the trade stuff. They've had injuries like crazy.
Yeah,
LeBron gets hurt on Christmas. He's out for a month, 2 months. I don't even know how long he was out. He's out forever. Kuzma's been out. All their main players have been hurt. But, all the trade talk.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
And recently, Jeannie Buss came out and said, you know what? We really weren't trading all those people. That was fake news. Why?
Yeah, that doesn't need to be said.
I think she said it just to cover her butt.
Yeah.
Right?
Because
what are you going to say? Yeah, we were going to trade our whole team for Anthony Davis. We sure were. Right? Ever since that time, if you watch ESPN, you see people walking around. You see just struggle happening. L.A. is in turmoil right now.
It's been
all because of LeBron, I think. Not all because of LeBron, but
I think it puts a stress. It puts an eye on it. I mean, nobody was talking about L.A. Now LeBron's there, so now everybody's going to be talking about L.A. You don't hear anything about Cleveland anymore. Who plays for Cleveland?
Who does play for Kevin Love's back, and they beat the Magic. Dang it! Magic were on a roll.
Who coaches Cleveland? Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know.
So now L.A.
David
Luke
Blatt?
Walton. Now all eyes are on Luke Walton. He's like, dang it. I mean, really? Now I'm not going to have a job. But and now I will say this. I think Luke Walton has done okay keeping the pieces together as much as he has. It surprised me. I mean, you got to remember, him and LeBron were in the same draft.
Yeah.
So
And he wasn't above LeBron, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. So I don't know that Luke Walton makes it out of this year, but here's what's a shame. When I think of LeBron, two things come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is I'm going to catch the ball at the top of the key and I'm going to drive it to the rim. That's my game, and then I'm going to hope everybody comes in, and then I'm going to kick it out to one of my spot-up guys. They're going to hit the three.
Shoot it.
Yeah, woo. The second thing is who has coached LeBron James? I mean, that's Eric Spoelstra, who's not been able to do much after him. Tyronn Lue.
Skip to my.
Yeah, where's he at? I mean, so then you think about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they played for Phil Jackson. LeBron James could not play for Phil Jackson.
Well, there is talk that Lou might be going to L.A.
And they're not X's and O's guys. I mean, they're not X's and O's guys.
Lou was under Phil Jackson. He was an assistant for Phil Jackson in L.A.
What did he do?
Coming
Get his
home.
Water for him?
Coming home. He was number 2. He was second man.
But so I
No,
mean,
that was Brian Shaw. Never mind. That was Brian Shaw.
Thank you. So you gotta see
Orlando
that,
Magic.
And I've heard this argument before. Could LeBron play for a Popovich? I don't think so.
He talked about it this summer, and I was hoping he would, just so I can see
what happens.
I mean, he played for Coach K
Yeah.
for the
But how
USA.
much X's and O's really go into that?
In the USA basketball.
In that short amount of time? I mean, how much?
I'd say a lot. I mean, not definitely not throughout the NBA, but I'd say there's definitely a lot. You're playing against the world's best
Yeah, but I still think that we have a little bit more athleticism.
in the world than the whole world.
America.
So
I think what's happening right now is I think we're starting to see that LeBron has just been an athlete and has been able to out-athlete people, kind of like the high school team that has the one kid that's just better than everybody else. And he does just enough that he draws a couple double teams, hits the guy that's wide open, and that guy hits the shot. If that guy's not hitting the shot, they're not very good. And it's just exactly what you said.
make a shot, Jerry.
If JR's not hitting his shots, if Corver's not hitting his shots, even if Ray Allen and Chris Bosh aren't hitting their shots, I don't know that they're that much better. Now, the same could be said about Michael Jordan. He had Scottie Pippen, but
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he had Ron Harper. I mean, Luke Longley down low. He had Dennis Rodman who get into people's heads. The Golden State Warriors, to me, mimic what Chicago was able to do those 6-8 years, because Chicago was still good when Michael Jordan was gone.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that people have to understand is the Lake Show, I think, has a long road ahead of them. I don't think LeBron wins a championship in L.A.
Yeah, so closing this segment, if we look at LeBron, right, his model of what happens when he comes to a team. He comes to a team, trades all the young talent, wins maybe, right,
Yeah.
or at least gets to the finals in the East. I don't know if he'll do that in the West.
I don't think so.
Leaves, and then the team is terrible.
Left with nothing.
Right? Miami's terrible now. Cleveland's terrible. We'll see what happens to L.A., but I think you got to be careful. If you're L.A., you got to be careful. I can't see them trading their whole team for Anthony Davis. I really can't, and I hope they don't, because when LeBron leaves, I mean, the NBA is better than when the Lakers are good.
Yeah, I agree.
NBA is better when the traditional powers are good. The Celtics just beat the Warriors the other night. That was great to see, right?
You need the Yankees to be good in baseball. You need the Cowboys to be
Red
good.
Sox, I think you mean.
I do prefer the Red Sox.
Okay, fantastic.
But I
There we
still
go.
think you need the Cowboys to be good in the NFL.
The Buccaneers.
Or the new Patriots or the new America's team.
Oh,
So, yeah,
I
I
hope
see.
not.
I think the Lake Show, I read a great thing, and then we can, whatever. Trade LeBron for Anthony Davis.
I was going to mention that in the article, and I stopped just short. I didn't want to be the one to.
Trade
I
LeBron.
didn't want to be that guy.
Could you imagine the basket? I mean, to me, I think that would be humbling for LeBron. I think then all of a sudden,
I'd laugh my head off.
you know what? I'm going to make the Pelicans the champions of the NBA now. Now I'm going to show you.
It'd be interesting to see who he brings to Nolans.
Yeah, so
That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I to me, if I'm the Lakers, I'm sitting back thinking I've got Lonzo Ball, and we could piece this thing together, bring in Anthony Davis, and now guys are probably wanting to come play and start coming to LA.
Well, I read an article about the Lake Show, and they're all about stars.
Yeah.
Right? When Magic Johnson was there, he and Paul Westhead were button heads back before the Lake Show was the Lake Show, button heads, and they literally the next day after Magic said trade me, they literally fired Paul Westhead.
Wow.
And they hired Pat Riley. But that's how ingrained they are in the star power. That's how much they want star power in LA. It's not about the coach, right? The coach doesn't. Yeah. The coach wins you some games, but your star is the one that's out there doing it. So it's definitely. I can't wait to see LeBron's on a 4-year contract. I think it's 4 years, which surprised me when he signed 4 years. I thought he'd do 2, but it's going to be fascinating to see. And Matt Smith, I'm watching it. If your team's going to be terrible, come 4 years from now,
we're gonna see. Maybe he becomes a New York Knick.
Hey, maybe. Hey, we've got more to come right after this message. Matt and I would love to hear from you inside the coach's office. Join us on Facebook at the coach's office or on Twitter at @coaching_office. Tell us some topics or things that you'd like for us to discuss on upcoming episodes. Also, if you're on Google or iTunes, go ahead and hit the 5 stars. Now, it's time to head back inside the coach's office.
Welcome back into the coach's office. Now we move into March Madness. I mean, it is the month of March.
Madness, baby.
So we're going to be doing a bracket challenge. We talked about that at the top of the show. So be on the lookout for that on all our social media sites as we prepare to see who can call it. Who can call it all the way down to the last one. The Selection Sunday will be March 17th, so be looking for that somewhere around March 17th or 18th. We'll have the brackets up and ready to go. Villanova, the defending champions, are they going to make another run? Who's it going to be?
Villanova is on a downslide. It will not be Villanova. I think I can say that with all certainty. I don't think Villanova is making a run.
They were the champions last year. They were the champions 2 years before that when they defeated North Carolina. So they will be missed, but that opens the door for some new teams. We've got Tennessee up there with Gonzaga. Some of the other teams that are going to be making a run at the national championship. Will Duke be able to go the distance? Here's one thing of note: if you're ranked below the number 8 seed, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Because the lowest or highest, however you want to see it, the lowest seed was the Villanova team of 1985. They were the number 8 seed. They upset Georgetown in the championship game. They are the lowest seed to ever be able to go the distance. So if Selection Sunday comes to pass and your team is sitting at 9 or 10, all the way down to 16, that's it.
You may get a good win.
You might be the Cinderella.
If you're a 12 team, you've got to upset a 5. It's in the rules.
That's got to happen. So in 80 years of the tournament, there's been 35 different teams.
I wonder who
to win the championship.
Wonder who's won the most.
Who would you guess? Should be easy. When you think college basketball.
University of California at Los Angeles.
That would be correct.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The
Go Bruins.
UCLA.
UCLA. Go Bruins. John Wooden, 10 of which came in a 12-year span. From 64 to 75, John Wooden took them to 10 out of 12 national titles.
That's crazy.
Let that settle in. 10 of 12.
And we're talking about athletes, going pro or not. There's your franchise. There's your dynasty.
So there's been a lot of Cinderellas. Most notably, as Matt said, number 8, the 8 seed Villanova went against a heavily favored Georgetown team, and they were the lowest seed. Some other upsets. Last year we had a 16 finally beat a 1. UMBC finally beat a 1. We've had
that was exciting.
A ton of upsets. March Madness is always super pumped, super exciting. I also wrote a blog on who to watch in March Madness. Some teams to watch: Duke, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Carolina, Michigan State, Michigan, Nevada, Iowa State. If I would put 2 more in there, I would shout out to my Florida family friends. I think Florida State's playing really well right now.
Yeah.
I told them,
They gave
Florida
Duke
State not necessarily is right there. They gave Duke all they wanted without Zion. or without they were without somebody. But I think Florida State is really, really pushing that top tier. Texas Tech also pushing that top tier. Kansas, poor Kansas, they finally lost their conference. That's been 14 years in a row.
That's a heartbreak.
14 years in a row they've won their conference, and they finally
How will they
not
respond?
win it this year.
How are they going to get it back?
So we'll see. They've had a lot of troubles. Now I was in. Let's look at the one seeds. Right now, Joe Lunardi has Virginia, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Duke at number ones. Twos, Michigan State, UNC, Michigan, and the Vols. Now, I was in the barbershop. If you're in Greenville, go by Joe Smith's barbershop.
Yes, sir.
Down by the Rice Box. We are both frequent flyers in the chairs.
My fade.
Fade me up, Darth Vader.
Yes, sir.
We're both frequent flyers. We had this discussion the other day when I was in there getting my hair cut. You can go down and see Joe, or you can see the Tylers, Tyler Smith, Tyler Aiken, and talk to them sports. They love talking sports. But here's the conversation, the point I brought up. What is the difference in a low one seed, the lowest one seed, and the highest two seed?
That's good. That's good.
Nothing, really.
Yeah.
Other than where you play, right?
Who you end up with.
Who you end up with is more important. The matchups, I think, are more important. So, Duke fans, let me spell this out. I'm a Duke fan. Let's spell it out. They about lost to Wake. R-E-L-A-X. Aaron Rodgers said it best. Relax. Tennessee fans, relax. Kentucky fans, you just got blown out by Tennessee. Relax.
Don't relax.
Get some of that.
Take it.
Take
Anyway.
it. Love it.
Go on.
LSU fan. LSU's playing really well
They
right
are.
now. They may win the SEC. We'll see going into Nashville. But
And Tennessee
relax.
tied at the top.
The best point about this time of year is the tournament. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters who you play, where you finish. Relax, enjoy the ride, and go crush some skulls on your way to the national championship.
Except for Tennessee's.
Except for Tennessee. Don't crush them.
Tennessee versus Duke.
Right now, Tennessee and Duke are in the same side of the bracket, in the
That's tough.
South bracket.
That's tough.
That'll be a heck of a matchup, I think.
Yeah, I think
It'll
could
be
good.
fun to watch.
I think Duke will be able to do what Tennessee struggles with, and that's stop the size. We've struggled with size. Read a great article that size and athleticism could be Tennessee's downfall, especially on the inside. So that'd be curious to see how that plays out. I'd love to see the Vols make it to the Final Four. Coach Barnes has them playing out of their minds. They've just finished off 18-0 at home for the first time ever, and I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's big for a university in transition. You know, with the football program, with Coach Pruitt still trying to figure things out. So March Madness is coming. It's a whole other season of basketball, and it's a lot of fun, especially those early games when the tournament first gets started, and you're watching basketball all day long, and I think it's an exciting time.
Whoa. Let's not ruin everybody's cover at their work, Matt.
I don't
goodness.
do that. I would never, ever.
If you're a teacher, you don't want your principal coming up on you
I would never do that.
when you're watching the show, when
That's
you're
why you
watching the
gotta-
games.
Quickly click over. And then, like I said, the answer's 5.
CBS has an app or has a button on their broadcast where you can flip it to a Excel spreadsheet. So for those of you that don't know, go ahead and hit that button real quick.
We won't charge you for that one.
That's a freebie.
Who won the first one? Who won the very first NCAA tournament? It's got to be Duke. It's got to be
gotta-
North Carolina.
It's got to be some of the blue bloods. Well, let's
Georgetown.
throw it out there. It was
Dun-dun-dun.
Oregon.
What?
Oregon.
The Oregon Ducks.
The Oregon Ducks defeated Ohio State in 1939 under head coach Howard Hobson.
The Oregon
Way
Ducks.
back in the day. They haven't won anything since then. They blew Florida State out, but couldn't come through with the championship.
Wow,
Forget Oregon.
that's crazy. The mighty Oregon Ducks.
Forget Oregon.
Won it first.
The Oregon Money Ducks.
Yeah,
forget them.
We've loved having you here in the coach's office this week. Remember, we'd love to have you on the show. If you've got something that you want to talk about, if you're a coach, you're an athlete, we'd love to hear from you. I'd like to get you inside the coach's office. Also, be sure to check out our blogs, coachesoffice.podbean.com, as we start to try our hand at typing out what we want to say.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying our best to keep the sports conversation going. If you're a sports enthusiast, go ahead and check that out. We always are in search of things to write about. If you have something to write about, go ahead and check us out. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
Instagram, Check us out all over the place. Holler at us.
Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, on Google Play. We're now on the TuneIn app. It allows you to listen to your favorite local radio stations, but you can also click over to podcasts. You can even call it up on Alexa.
Hey, Alexa.
Play the Coach's Office. I'm sorry.
Who?
I have a higher standard.
We don't like those guys.
For a higher quality of entertainment. So plenty of options. Soon will be available on iHeartRadio. So we'd love to have you guys listening into us. You can get us on Spotify. Make sure you add us to your library. So as we continue to expand, we hope that you expand with us and enjoy the journey.
And share us with your friends. So for Matt Ripley and myself, Kyle Donahue, we thank you for listening. We hope you've had fun. Carry the conversation on. And as always, if you're last one out, turn off the lights and lock up the gate.
This has been a presentation of the Coach's Office, produced by Quotable Productions.